All right, moving on. Well, the death toll from Israeli airstrikes on Lebanon has risen to at least 7, including a child victim. This follows a second wave of attacks on Hezbollah targets. Is a major city in southern Lebanon, and it saw one person being killed with several others wounded in nearby strikes. The escalation comes after rocket fire from southern Lebanon into northern Israel, which Hezbollah has denied responsibility. Israeli forces have intensified their military operations, with Defense Minister Israel Katz confirming strikes targeting Hezbollah positions. Prime Minister Nawaf Salam warned that Israel's renewed military operations could pull Lebanon into a new war. The Lebanese army is investigating the rocket fire, while Hezbollah faces increasing internal and external pressures. Lebanon's political opposition has blamed Hezbollah for instigating last year's Israeli offensive with its support for Gaza. These developments highlight growing tensions along the southern border as Israel and Hezbollah remain locked in a volatile standoff, with both sides accusing each other of escalating the conflict. Yeshaya Rosenman, Israel journalist, is joining us at this point in time as well. Thank you so much, Yeshaya. Important to understand that if any of these countries are blaming Lebanon, I beg your pardon, Israel, for this escalation, it should be made very, very clear that after October 7th, it came out pretty much in the open that the proxy wars that have been going on against Israel have been, to some extent, or rather to a large extent, precipitated by the funding that comes out of these countries.
Good afternoon. So first of all, I don't actually understand how Israel can be blamed for the escalation. I think it's quite clear who fired rockets at who, Lebanon at Israel, and not vice versa. When the Lebanese prime minister warns that Israel might be drawing the region into escalation, there is a decision 1701 that says that there should be Hezbollah must be disarmed beyond the north of the Litani River, and the Lebanese government is essentially completely doing nothing at all. They prefer Israel takes care of Hezbollah rather than themselves because of Hezbollah's very substantial power as a militia that controls Lebanon. But yes, you are correct that beyond all these, what the outcome will be right now, the most important part is the long-term outcome. And that is dependent upon the funding coming from Iran. Because even if now Israel were to take out every last missile that Hezbollah owns, and some of the strikes that Israel did last night can be found online on the right Telegram channels, they exploded a very large weapons cache that Hezbollah had. You can see the secondary explosions. But even if Israel was to take out every single missile that Hezbollah has, they would just simply rearm from Iran once more. So the question of how to deal with this once and for all, how to take down the Iranian regime, I don't see very many people discussing that.
Right, and Yeshaya, do you take solace in the fact that the Americans have already understood that how Iran is perhaps, the biggest actor in this area when evil and these proxy wars?
All of the proxies, what the Iranians do, they're all Iranian funded, even if not exclusively Iranian funded, since Qatar also funds these terrorist activities. But yes, from Iran, Hezbollah gets weapons from Iran and from China. Hamas gets the weapons from Iran. So yes, it is primarily the largest funder of terrorist activities in this region. The main force destabilizing this region is Iran, and that is precisely the reason that the traditional monarchies of the Sunni world collaborate with Israel, because they realize that the greatest threat to their existence is not Israel, but Iran, correct. But the revolutionary project of Iran. Yes.
Yasha, appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much for
Thank you very much.
those expert insights. All right, that's all we have time for. We'll continue to bring more news updates from around the world.